I get it. There's this girl in your class, there's a girl at the bar, there's a girl on the apps, someone maybe you've been on a date with, and she's absolutely beautiful. And she's even showed you a little bit of attention, which has you completely sucked in. Let me explain why chasing these beautiful or hot women, as you describe, are not worth it. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go for women who aren't attractive, but what I am saying is that you are pedestalizing some of these women to a degree, and you're actually reinforcing really bad habits. At TripAdvice, we do have a coaching program where you can get a coach one-on-one who can help you with attracting some of these more attractive women that you're interested in. You can check that out at tripadvicecoaching.com. There's a link in the description down below. But I want you to be wary of the kinds of women that you are trying to meet. First of all, the reason why you're chasing this really attractive woman because she's giving you that little bit of attention is because you're in a default scarcity mode. And by the way, I'm not trying to come down on you here. I am giving you some tough love, but I'm really not just talking to you. I'm talking to past Trip, the guy who used to do the same thing. I remember this was, probably over a decade ago. There was a woman who I was friends with. I was in the friend zone, but there was a moment where she did tell me that she had a little crush on me, but she also told me that that was something that happened a couple months ago. Like had that, but then she's now just friends with me. And of course that gave me this idea like, wow, wait a minute. So this girl who I've liked the whole time, who is very attractive, once liked me. I was sucked in for the next year trying to chase her, trying to get her to like me, trying to avoid the friend zone. And of course, it did not work. And one of the reasons why it didn't work is because I was being needy, I was chasing her. And the reason why I was doing this was because I did not have any other women that I was talking to. So I was completely desperate. And that's the first thing here, is that maybe you're chasing that hot woman because you don't have other women in your life. I just said maybe. It's actually 100% true. You would only be chasing that one woman because you don't have other options. You need to have more options, okay? So that's the first thing here. Also, just to talk about these idea of hot women, the 9s and 10s. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't go for those women, but what I am saying is there is a handful of these type of women who have a lot of issues. I've talked about this before. They have a lot of self-esteem issues. They usually have a life that is a mess. They usually are very entitled because they've been given everything their whole life, and their life for a long time has been very easy on them because it's been shown that attractive people, men included, do get more attention. It's easier for them to get jobs. They end up just getting more attention from the people around them wherever they go and whatever they do. So you are dealing with now that type of personality and that type of woman who is getting that. And a lot of that ends up in self-esteem issues because they end up getting really sensitive to any little thing that happens because it always has to be a lot of reinforcement in their life that they're still beautiful, that they're still pretty, that they're still wanted and desired because they've had that the whole time. So you end up with a woman who has a lot of these issues and it's not pretty. No pun intended. Next, chasing women, any woman, beautiful or not, is reinforcing in your mind that you're not the prize, that they're the prize. So what happens when you have this mindset that you're not the prize? You end up becoming needy. You end up becoming a guy who has low self-esteem because you are trying to get someone else to fill this hole of I need someone to like me. Guys who believe that they're the prize naturally have high self-esteem. They say, wait, I'm an amazing guy. I'm awesome. I have a lot going for me. So if this woman doesn't like me, I'm not going to chase her. I'm the prize. She should already know that I'm amazing. And just because she's pretty doesn't mean I need to keep chasing her. And again, I understand, right? We are men. We are visual creatures. So when we see a woman that's really attractive and then she gives us a little inkling of hope that maybe she likes us, we tend to go nuts because, back to my first point, we are at default scarcity. But I want you to start understanding that you are the prize. And if you don't believe that, we need to get you to that point before you start chasing women down. Next point is that chasing women is a beta move, right? So losers are the ones who are chasing and winners are the one who attract women. Losers chase, winners attract. You want to become a guy who's attractive in all different forms. You want to look your best, right? Optimize your looks. You want to have attractive personality, like using my TED formula, the formula for attraction. Again, I talk about that in my coaching program. And you want to be a guy who doesn't have to text women all the time, convince them to like you, trying to get them to meet up with you all the time when they're not even responding to your text. Now, of course, a lot of guys say, well, how can I just go out and just attract women? I can't just go to a bar or go on an online dating app and just hope that like all these women like me. No, of course. You still have to make the first move, but that's not chasing. That is just being proactive. That's just being a leader. That's being assertive. Once you get to the point where they're not showing much interest in you and you're still trying to get them, that's where chasing comes in. Also, you're putting these women on a pedestal, right? These beautiful women, these attractive women who've given you the time of day, and you probably don't even know her yet. You probably don't. A lot of these women that you're chasing, what? Because you went on one date with her? Because you've been friends with her for a couple months? Because she works with you? You don't really know her yet. And you might have an argument, no, Trip, you don't understand, I've known her for 2 months, 3 months. Yet you know her, you don't know relationship her. Okay, you don't know what she's like to be in a relationship. You don't know what she's like to be when you're dating her. You never experienced that yet. So even though you think she's amazing, she's pretty, she's nice, whatever she is, she's smart, you have all these different adjectives to describe her, you don't know what she's like in a relationship. She could be hell in a relationship. It could be terrible being in a relationship with the person. It is not a one-to-one correlation of this is how she is as a friend, so this is how she'll be in a relationship. And of course, if you don't even know her as a friend and you don't know this woman at all, you're putting her on a pedestal just because she's pretty, and women are more than their looks. Because you can be with a woman and she could be beautiful, but she could be an absolute nightmare. And I promise you, when you end up with a woman who's very beautiful physically and a nightmare emotionally, you're not going to think of her as pretty anymore. Next, the most important part, remember this, guys, is her liking you. When you're trying to chase a woman, trying to get a woman interested in you, the most important part, the most important quality is not how beautiful she is, how smart she is, how funny she is, or any of those things. It's how much she likes you. You need to be filtering through the women that you're dating with understanding how much of a level of interest she has. If she's meeting up with you, if she's physically escalating with you, if she's responding to your text message, she's excited to see you. Those things need to be there, because I don't care how perfect this woman is. If those aren't there, then she's not the one for you. The most important quality of all time is how much she likes you. There is a way to become a catch to a girl. How do you become a catch? How do you magnetically attract women? Watch the video here on the screen. You can also book a free call with my team at tripadvicecoaching.com, where we can tell you how we can help you become more of a magnet to women.